Well, one of the stars of Heartburn was Jack Nicholson, and he gave me some pretty good advice about working with Mike.
Kevin Spacey doesn't give praise easily. He's not the type to throw compliments around just because someone's popular.
I work a lot with kids, and I'm inspired by, people at that age, sort of between, 15 and 25, when they just...
When he talks about acting, it's serious, it's technical, it's about the work, not the fame. He spent decades studying performance, breaking down scenes, understanding what makes a moment real. And through it all, he's kept a mental list of the actors who do it right. This isn't about box office numbers or Instagram followers. For Spacey, it's about precision. It's about actors who disappear into roles, who make choices that surprise you, who respect the craft enough to obsess over every detail.
Fucking cops.
He doesn't care about trends. He cares about technique, transformation, and the kind of talent that makes other actors sit up and take notes. These are the 10 actors Kevin Spacey respects most, not for their star power, not for their awards, for their ability to do what most can't, to make you forget you're watching someone act. 10. Judi Dench. Kevin Spacey calls Judi Dench a force of nature, and he means it. She's small in stature but enormous in presence. When she's on screen, you can't look away.
Have a care with my name, you will wear it out.
Not because she's loud or flashy, because she's precise. Every word lands exactly where it should. Spacey worked with her in theater and film. He watched her command stages in London's West End. He saw how she could hold an audience with just a pause, just a look. That's power. That's mastery. And Spacey knows most actors spend their whole lives trying to find what Dench has naturally. What he respects most is her fearlessness. She doesn't play safe. She takes risks even in her 80s. She's funny, sharp, vulnerable, and strong all at once. Dench proved to Spacey that great acting isn't about age or size or volume. It's about presence. It's about owning every second you're given, and nobody owns a scene like Judi Dench. 9. Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon is the actor Kevin Spacey studied most. Not just watched, studied, frame by frame, scene by scene. Lemmon could do it all.
But you're not a girl, you're a guy. And why would a guy want to marry a guy? Security.
Comedy, drama, tragedy, charm, and he made it look effortless. But Spacey knew better. That ease took decades to build. What drew Spacey to Lemmon was his vulnerability.
Ultimately, we had to get up and do scenes from a play in front of Jack Lemmon, who was running this workshop. And
Lemmon wasn't afraid to look weak, nervous, or foolish. He played characters who struggled, who failed, who barely held it together. And that honesty made him unforgettable. Whether it was The Apartment or Glengarry Glen Ross, Lemmon brought truth to every moment. Spacey even played Lemmon in a biographical film. He didn't just mimic him, he tried to understand him, to capture what made Lemmon so human on screen. And what he learned was simple. Lemmon never protected himself. He gave everything to the role, even if it meant looking small. That's bravery. That's craft. And Spacey never forgot it. 8. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando didn't just act. He rewrote the rules. And Kevin Spacey knows it. Before Brando, acting was theatrical. Big, performed.
What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn out a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman?
Brando made it real. He mumbled. He paused. He didn't care about being pretty or clear. He cared about the truth. And Hollywood was never the same. Spacey has talked about watching On the Waterfront and The Godfather over and over. What fascinated him wasn't just the performances. It was the unpredictability. You never knew what Brando would do next. He broke the rhythm. He made choices no one else would dare make. And somehow it worked, every time. What Brando taught Spacey was simple. Don't follow the script too closely. Don't play it safe. Find the danger in the scene. Find the moment that makes everyone uncomfortable, because that's where the truth lives. Brando didn't care about being liked. He cared about being real. And real is what lasts. Real is what changes everything. 7. Meryl Streep. Kevin Spacey calls Meryl Streep the greatest actor alive. Not an actress, actor. Because for him, there's no separation. She's simply the best, and it's not even close.
Understand why it's so difficult to confirm an appointment.
No, I'm so sorry, Miranda. I actually did confirm
Details
last
of
night.
your incompetence do not.
What amazes Spacey is how she keeps doing it, decade after decade, role after role, always different, always excellent. What stands out most is her commitment to transformation. She doesn't just change her voice or her look. She changes everything, her posture, her energy, her rhythm. You never see Meryl acting. You only see the character, and that takes a level of discipline most actors don't have. Spacey respects that she never coasts. She could take easy roles, cash the checks, but she doesn't. She challenges herself constantly. She picks difficult characters, learns new accents, and studies obsessively. At an age when most actors retire, Streep is still pushing, still curious, still hungry. And for Spacey, that's the ultimate lesson. Greatness isn't a destination, it's a practice. And Streep never stops practicing. 6. Michael Caine. Michael Caine taught Kevin Spacey something crucial. Acting doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be torture or method or exhaustion. You can just be good, consistently, professionally, and still be great. Caine's been doing it for over 60 years, and he makes it look easy. What Spacey admires is Caine's intelligence. He's not just talented, he's smart about the craft. He knows how to use the camera. He knows where the light is. He knows how to make a small moment land without forcing it. That's technical mastery. That's experience. And Spacey learned by watching. Caine also taught him about longevity. You don't have to burn out. You don't have to disappear for years between roles. You can work. You can stay sharp. You can treat it like a job you love and still deliver excellence. Caine never pretended acting was mystical. It's a craft. Learn it, respect it, do it well. And Spacey took that to heart. 5. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's on fire. Pure, uncontrolled, dangerous fire. And Kevin Spacey loves it. Pacino doesn't hold back. He doesn't play it safe. When he commits to a choice, he goes all the way. Even if it's too much. Even if it's risky. Because that's where the magic lives. Spacey has said that watching Pacino in The Godfather Part 2 and Dog Day Afternoon changed how he thought about acting. Pacino wasn't trying to be likable. He wasn't trying to be cool. He was trying to be human, messy, loud, broken, real. And it worked because he believed it completely. What Pacino taught Spacey was about courage. You can't always control the performance. Sometimes you have to let it take over. You have to trust your instincts even when they feel wild. Pacino's best moments aren't calculated. They're raw. They're explosive. They're alive. And Spacey learned that great acting isn't always about precision. Sometimes it's about letting go, about trusting the chaos, about burning the scene down and seeing what's left standing. That's what Pacino does, and that's why Spacey keeps coming back to him. 4. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson plays Jack Nicholson, and somehow it always works. That's what fascinates Kevin Spacey. Nicholson doesn't disappear into roles the way others do. You always see Jack, the grin, the energy, the danger. But it doesn't matter, because he makes every character his own. What Spacey respects is Nicholson's confidence. He doesn't worry about being liked. He doesn't soften his edges. He leans into the darkness, the weirdness, the unpredictability. Whether it's The Shining, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or Chinatown, Nicholson brings menace and charm at the same time. That balance is rare, and it takes guts. Spacey learned something important from Nicholson. You don't have to hide yourself to be a great actor. You can bring your personality into the role. You can be bold, strange, even theatrical. As long as you commit, as long as you mean it. Nicholson never apologizes for being too much. He takes up space. He owns the frame. And Spacey learned that stardom isn't about blending in. It's about standing out, about being unforgettable. And nobody's more unforgettable than Jack Nicholson. 3. Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is the standard. the gold bar, the actor every other actor measures themselves against. And Kevin Spacey is no exception. De Niro's work in the 70s and 80s set a new level for what acting could be. Total immersion, total transformation, total commitment. What Spacey admires most is De Niro's preparation. He doesn't just read the script, he lives it. He learns the skill. He gained weight. He changes his voice, his walk, his entire being. Whether it's Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull or Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, De Niro becomes someone else completely, and Spacey studied every second of it. De Niro taught Spacey that acting is research. It's homework. It's showing up knowing more than anyone else in the room. You can't fake that kind of detail. You can't shortcut that level of authenticity. De Niro proved that if you do the work, the performance takes care of itself. You don't have to perform. You just have to be. And Spacey built his entire career on that lesson. Preparation equals freedom, and De Niro showed him how. 2. Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins does something Kevin Spacey finds terrifying. He makes stillness deadly. Hopkins doesn't need to shout. He doesn't need to move. He just watches. And somehow, that's more frightening than anything else. That control, that precision, that quiet menace. It's masterful. Spacey has talked about studying Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter is one of the most iconic performances in film history, and Hopkins barely moves. He sits, he talks, he stares, but every word is a weapon, every pause is a threat. That's acting at its highest level. Total control, total awareness, total power. What Hopkins taught Spacey was about the economy. You don't need a lot to do a lot. One look can say everything. One line delivered perfectly can haunt an audience forever. Hopkins proves that less is more. That restraint is power. That the scariest performances aren't loud. They're quiet. They're precise. They're calculated. Spacey learned that great acting isn't about filling space. It's about owning it. And Hopkins owns every frame he's in. Without effort, without noise, just presence. Pure, undeniable presence. 1. Laurence Olivier. When Kevin Spacey names his number one, there's no hesitation. Laurence Olivier. The greatest actor who ever lived, not just in Spacey's mind, in history. Olivier did it all. Stage, film, Shakespeare, modern drama. He directed. He produced. He defined what it meant to be a complete actor. And Spacey worships him for it. What makes Olivier untouchable is his range. He could be a king, a villain, a clown, a hero. He could do tragedy and comedy with equal skill. He made Shakespeare accessible. He brought classical theater to the screen without losing its power. And he did it with a technique so refined, so perfect, that actors still study him today. Spacey didn't just admire Olivier. He modeled his career after him. The theater work, the film roles, the focus on craft over celebrity. Olivier taught Spacey that acting is a lifelong study. You never stop learning. You never stop pushing. You never settle. Olivier performed into his 80s, and every role mattered. Every choice was deliberate. He didn't just act, he elevated the entire art form. And for Spacey, that's what greatness looks like. Not fame, not awards, legacy. And Olivier's legacy will never fade. Kevin Spacey doesn't choose favorites by fame. He chooses them by craft, by discipline, by the lessons they left behind. Who's your number one? Drop it in the comments below and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest actors of all time.